from the international arena in a significant development. Former President Donald Trump is reportedly ready to lift restriction on long-range weapons for Ukraine with the goal of bringing Russian President Vladimir Putin to the negotiating table. Michael Waltz, the incoming U.S. National Security Advisor, has confirmed that active preparations are underway for a meeting between Trump and Putin. The Trump himself has also indicated that plans for the meetings are progressing. Swiss authorities have expressed their willingness to host the summit. This comes as global tensions continue to rise over the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. So that's the latest that's coming in at this point of time. We have with us my colleague Aditya Vadhavan joining us on the telecast. Aditya, there's this huge development that we are seeing, that is a meeting that's underway between Trump and Putin, and now we're seeing US seeks negotiation and is contemplating lifting the ban on this long-range weapons that Ukraine could use. The goal of bringing both Putin and to this negotiation board that we are seeing.
Well, absolutely, Ria. You see what happened sometime back. President Biden had approved the use of long-range missiles to strike deep into Russian territory, to Ukraine, And what has happened is this Donald Trump, the US president-elect, has also decided that they decided to follow the same line as on which Joe Biden had, the Democrats had followed. This is a very significant development if we, with respect to this Russia-Ukraine war that has been going unending. It's been going on for 3 years. It is showing no end in despite. So these are all the attempts to force Russia to come on a negotiating table and ultimately end the war. Vladimir Putin, Russian president, has also in the past said that he was ready to hold talks with Donald Trump, and he is ready to make compromises on the Russia-Ukraine war on the position of strength, but not on weakness. So this might the limitations on the use of long-range missiles that have been lifted, restrictions by the Trump, shows the incoming Trump administration's willingness to finally end the Russia-Ukraine war. This could be a significant thing as far as this war is concerned. It needs to be seen as to what discussion do the two leaders hold when they meet each other, and it is a very significant development that is signaling the positive change in this situation. Yes, Ria.
We also have with us Jay Sori, international affairs expert, joining us on the telecast. Jay Sori, we are seeing that Donald Trump is pushing towards this negotiation between Russia and Ukraine and a way to have the ceasefire happen between the two. And there's a meeting that's underway. And now we're seeing that Trump is reportedly is ready to lift restrictions on the long-range weapons for Ukraine. So is there a possibility that Trump could bring about the ceasefire between the two?
Jai Hind, Ria. It's my honor to be on an esteemed channel. Donald Trump in his various election rallies has said that one of his main priorities on becoming the US president would be to end the prolonged Russia-Ukraine war. And recently, the incoming NSA, Michael Waltz, has said that Putin and Donald Trump are likely to meet soon, and Switzerland is likely to be the place where both the leaders will meet. So this clearly shows that the prolonged Russia-Ukraine war, which will be completing 3 years next month on 24th February, is now almost on the verge of getting over. Well, Ria, last year on 17 November, the American President Joe Biden had given Ukraine permission to use long-range weapons deep inside the Russian territory. And what Donald Trump now is saying is nothing new. It is just an extension of what Joe Biden has already granted the permission to Ukraine. But the fact remains that by reiterating that he's ready to give permission for the long-range weapons, which is already in place, Donald Trump has signaled to Russia that until Russia does not agree for a ceasefire, he will not put any holds on Ukraine, and he would give full liberty to Ukraine to wage war as much deep inside Russian territory as they want. So I think with the clear signaling and messaging that Donald Trump has done by his statements, by the fact that the two leaders are to meet shortly, I think the Russia-Ukraine war is about to end soon.
Jayasuri, when it comes to Donald Trump re-entering the White House, what could this mean for Ukraine?
Well, Ria, in the past, Donald Trump has made very, stinging statements on the Ukrainian President Zelensky by saying that he is the world's biggest salesman because whenever he comes to America, he takes away $100 million of our aid. So clearly, Donald Trump is quite miffed by the way Zelensky has performed in the war. And Donald Trump doesn't want this war to prolong because his main focus is making America great again. He doesn't want the American taxpayers' money to be wasted anymore on the Russia-Ukraine war and to give any more aid to Ukraine. So Donald Trump doesn't hold a very high image of the Ukrainian president. And in the days to come, after he becomes the American president for the 47th time, he will ensure that this war is put to an end at the earliest, and probably he would also hint at a regime change in Ukraine.
Jayasuri, when it comes to the fact that Ukraine continues to lose ground on the battlefield, what do you think Russia's position is amidst all of this, with Donald Trump entering into this mix of ceasefire talks?
Well, Ria, as we talk, Russia is already holding 17% of the Ukrainian territory. So in real terms, Ukraine has already lost this war. Even when a ceasefire takes place, 17% of the Ukrainian territory would be totally in Russia's control. So Russia has gained what it wanted to. It has the whole Donbass region under its control, which was its primary military aim. As far as Russia is concerned, it has won the war easily. Now it is up to Ukraine to decide how prolonged they would want this ceasefire or how early they would want this war to end, because Russia is not going to give up this 17% of the Ukrainian territory that they firmly hold in their grasp. Ukraine has actually not much choices but to go in for a ceasefire, because with 17% territory lost and no hope of any aid coming in after exactly 1 week when Donald Trump becomes the American president, well, Ukraine has absolutely just no hope from any side, and it has got only one option. It should now end the war honorably.
All right, Jayasuri, thank you so much for joining us on the telecast and sharing those details. Meanwhile, we'll continue to keep track of more news coming in. But for now, that's a wrap for the bulletin. We'll slip into a short break.
कल करे सो आज का रिटायरमेंट